When I told people that I was building an app, they automatically assumed that I knew how to code and that I knew how to build some sort of software, which I have no idea where they would even assume that because I have absolutely no software development experience. I wanted to build something and I've actually done so. And it's actually a viable product that I cannot wait to get to market. So if you don't know me, my name is Latasha Laster Mullins, and on this channel, Grown Women Strategy, I am going to be talking about starting over from your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, and how it is that I'm building a software application for your cell phone, tablet, and computer out of absolutely no experience, just a little bit of AI experience and the know-how and the determination to make it work. And I'm going to turn it into a business. I'm planning to anyway. But I'm taking you along on my journey of doing that, and also just all of the fears and frustrations that I'm feeling as I'm going through this journey. So that way you can watch, learn from me, so that way you don't make the same mistakes that I'm making. The fact that my husband and I have had the conversation about me possibly having to return back to a 9 to 5. And so with that, I have been spiraling in my own head. However, with real estate, I am commission based. So if I don't sell a house, I don't get a paycheck. And so that's where I am right now with my business. So I'm trying to think of other revenue streams. And I believe that my application, my idea, and the fact that I've already built this app using this software Base44 has actually brought me into thinking that I can possibly turn this into a business. And so my journey started with YouTube University. You can research how to do anything. I've even learned how to fix my kitchen faucets with YouTube. And so why not learn how to start all over and explore doing something completely out of the box? I've never written a line of code in my entire life. So Base44 allows you to use AI prompts, and you tell Base44, just like you would tell like ChatGPT or Claude, that this is the feature that I want in the app. And so because I am not privy on prompting, I have always gone back to my guru, which is ChatGPT. I call him just Chat for short. I like to speak directly into Chat. I never type anything. That way it allows me to give Chat as much detail as possible about what I want, because if I have to type it out, of course I'm going to type out in the shortest terms as possible. But if I'm able to just talk to Chat and give it as much context as possible in the 10-minute span, because you can only do it for up to 10 minutes of recording before it stops transmitting. I learned that the hard way. I told Chat exactly what I wanted, and it spits out the prompts. And I actually told Chat specifically that I'm building this app using Base44 software, so it would help me to communicate with Base44. Depending on the program that you get through Base44, I have the builder plan, which is like the middle tier. I only have 250 messaging credits. The messaging credit is every time you put in a prompt, it uses so many of your credits. So I realize when I'm almost done and I'm working like 12, 14, 16-hour days, late nights on my app, because I want to release it. I'm ready to, I see the vision. I see that I can turn this into a business. I'm ready to move forward. I'm like, let me just check how many credits I've used. I had used up 205 credits. I only get 250 for the month, and I use up 205 of my messaging credits. So I immediately thought, I need to abort this. I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to finish this app. I wanted to finish it this month, and I can't. I don't want to use all my credits. So I thought about it. I prayed on it. I reached for inspiration. The fact that this is difficult, the fact that there's difficulty in my way, I still need to be pressing forward, because the difficulty is what I'm learning from. I have taken it all in, that I just need to just go for it. So I took my leftover 45 credits And I went ahead and moved forward. And I told ChatGPT, hey, I'm using a lot of my messaging credits, and I'm noticing that the reason why I'm having to put so many messages in to the Base44 software is because every single time I ask for a new prompt to create something, Base44 is erasing or it's malfunctioning a function that was working perfectly fine on the app before I asked for the new thing to be built on the app. And so with that information, because chat doesn't know what Base44 is doing, Base44 doesn't know what I want because I'm not telling it. So this is something I learned. AI only knows what you tell it to do. So chat gave me a prompt that it said I need to start using before I send the next message of prompt for a change or anything else. So I will cut and paste that prompt into the description below. So that way, if you want to use Base44 and you want to also use either Claude or ChatGPT to help you with prompting Base44, use that wording that chat gave me, and I will post it in the description below. So that way you can have that. But after ChatGPT gave me that line to prompt, then it actually stopped erasing the things that were already functioning in the app. I'm at 249 credits now. I have to now wait until next month before I can get a reboot of my credits. But last night, I also went down a rabbit hole on YouTube. I found a video of she was like in her 20s. They're all in their 20s. And she created 2 apps, actually 4 total, but 2 of them were really successful. She was making $150,000 a month, not a year, a month on 2 apps that she created. She also talked about what programs that she used to create the app. She was talking about how she created her app on React Native. And React Native is a platform that people can actually create apps for free. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I could have created this for free and probably launched it a lot sooner. I was starting to spiral again, thinking I'd made another big mistake. And I went on ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT, is there a way that I can actually copy the code from my Base44 app and transfer it over to React Native to create my same app in a different platform? And ChatGPT actually told me that it would not be a good idea for me to switch from Base44 to React Native because the line of code, the way that React Native reads code is different from Base44. So I would have to do a lot of like reconfiguring. It would actually delay me putting out the app months, not weeks, months, because I would have to redo everything basically. So I'm just gonna have to wait. So what I'm doing is I did go back into Base44 and I played with my app a little bit. And I remember getting teary-eyed because I couldn't believe that something that I had just been thinking about 3 or 4 days before had come to life. And it was actually something that functioned the way that I imagined it. So it was like seeing something that you dreamed about right there in front of you. It was like giving birth. That's the only thing I can comparing it to. It was like I gave birth to this beautiful thing that, but the difference is that I actually get to control all the functions. You don't get to do that when you have kids. So totally different thing. But it was amazing because it felt like it was magic. But it wasn't magic. It was AI. And it was powerful because I couldn't believe that I actually created something, and I have absolutely no experience in creating anything. So ultimately, I have decided to stick with Base44, even though I felt that I had made a big mistake in choosing Base44. And I'm glad that I did invest in Base44 to create my app because it was actually the easiest platform to create the app. And my only gripe with Base44 when I was building my app, it looked generic. It didn't look like I wanted it to. So I actually had ChatGPT really help me with the design and everything. So that took a few prompts to do, but my app looks amazing now. So now, since I have to wait before I can actually put out my app, I'm going to start my LLC, which I thought I had already done what I actually only paid for my registered agent. I didn't actually start the paperwork. So I am fixing that. I'm also working on my website to alert the public about what PlatePilot can do. I'm learning how to use WordPress on Hostinger host the website, and I'm using WordPress to create the site. And of course, I'm using YouTube and the gurus on there to help me with building all this stuff out. I totally am not figuring this out on my own. Hopefully, you don't feel alone in this and that you know that you can do this as well. I have to create my LLC. I know in 4 months, I'm going to have to come up with $800. So it has to work if I'm opening up an LLC, right? But I believe in my business and I believe in myself so much that I have to make this happen, that I am going to go ahead and invest in doing the LLC. I have to get an EIN number with the IRS so they can open up a business bank account. I need to do marketing. I have to get my marketing and figure out those channels of how I'm going to market, where I'm going to market. I'm going to probably have to pay for ads to generate traffic to my app. I can do organic and also paid. And so there's just a lot of things I need to do to prep for the launch. I'm going to have to go back through my app once I do get my messaging credits back and just make sure that everything's functioning correctly, because I did learn that if your app is released and it does not function the way you promised or the way it's supposed to, it's going to die. So I don't want it to be dead on arrival. I want it to be functioning properly. I'm going to have beta testers. I'm probably going to not even release my app completely until maybe even October. So in the next video, I'm actually going to explain to you why this has to work, not only because I have to pay the state of California franchise tax board $800 in about 4 months, but also why I don't want to have to return to a 9 to 5. So I'll see you next time.